because it was just like, whoa. Like, I had heard they were taking qualities of The Dark Knight Rises from Gotham's No Man's Land, and in No Man's Land it's a lot different. There was an earthquake and Gotham was basically cut off from the rest of the world, and they declared it not part of America, and everyone was stuck there with all the homicidal maniacs. But the difference being, this took a lot of qualities from that and incorporated into the movie, which was interesting to see.
Okay, let's talk about Commissioner Gordon.
Okay.
Now, we went and saw the Oscars when Gary Oldman was nominated for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and I actually went and saw it. I don't recommend seeing it. It's an R-rated movie, so it's it's not a movie that I would watch because it's just got stuff that I don't like to see a lot in a movie. Anyways, and by golly, Tom Hardy was in that one too, and it was interesting. But anyways, I watched it and I was thinking, okay, well, this is his acting performance in this is legitimate. When I watched The Dark Knight, I was like, it wouldn't make sense for them to give him an Academy Award for this role, even though he does have some great moments. The time where when I was watching Gary Oldman and I actually woke up, like, not woke up, but actually was like, whoa, that's some good acting, was near the climax when he's talking to the character Blake, and they're watching everything happening on the TV, and when he turns around and tells, like, I was just like, whoa, like, all of this, and like, well, I forget all he says, but
well, he's like, whenever you find yourself in the pit of like hell, you better hope that you have a friend who's willing to take the fall for you, like I had.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, but I think it was very weird because with Commissioner, like for Gary Oldman, Commissioner Gordon, because the pacing at the beginning, he's injured, and so you think he's not going to be like non-existent, and through the middle he's almost non-existent, and then he's back as a major character in the climax again. I'm not sure if the pacing of Commissioner Gordon was like, if he was supposed to be a major character, you're supposed to like keep him in throughout, and I'm not sure if they did that as well.
When I saw him in the hospital, I was like, oh, that's great, because I've watched the animated series, and I also have a comic where Commissioner Gordon's in the hospital. Not saying it has to be tied into the movie. I'm just saying that it was interesting that they tied that in. But the thing was, I never saw him get shot. I don't know what happened, what was in the river.
When he rolled over into the water, they all shot at him.
I never saw it happen.
But you didn't see it in the animated series either.
I didn't see anything happen. All I thought was, what? Did they think he actually got shot when he didn't get shot? And I was like, did he swallow something in the water? Like,
no, he rolled over. They were shooting at him. One of the bullets hit him.
I couldn't figure that out for me,
Chris.
I just didn't. I didn't get that. Like honestly, like they. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. Let's move on to another character.
All right.
Oh, look at that stuff in the sewers. Oh, crazy. I'm an orphan, I got issues. Hey, Bruce Wayne, I know you're Batman because I'm an orphan and I've got masks, so that's how I know. Makes sense. It really makes sense. Come on, orphans, let's go! Don't blow up the bridge! No! Drat! Oh, we're all gonna die! Gosh darn it!
Now say I'm going to become Batman.
I'm gonna become Robin. Robin's my real name, so that'll be my superhero name. That doesn't make sense! I'm an orphan with issues!
Alright, what did you think of Anne Hathaway's Catwoman?
Anne Hathaway's Catwoman was a different choice, was interesting in the regard that she had... what she did as an actor was she realized that if she was going to be sly, she'd have to talk a certain way and kind of talk a little bit quieter and kind of in that tone of voice.
Alright, I'm just going to say it right here. Do you think she was better than Michelle Pfeiffer?
No, she's not. It's clear.
I think she was.
It's clear that she wasn't meant for this role.
I think she was.
I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not saying that she did a terrible job. I know that she had good things that she added into it. It's just we didn't see Selena. Like, we saw Selena Kyle that could be anyone. We saw Selena Kyle that really, she looked similar to any other woman trying to be Catwoman. That didn't have a reputation. She did not have a reputation. In Batman Returns, I'm sorry for people that didn't like Batman Returns, but I'm saying, we see her at her finest. We see her, go into this...
Was it because she didn't have the
Max or Shrek's thing and fool around, like cutting all the heads off the mannequins and then putting.
Come on, Chris. That earlier
when she's doing stuff,
Chris, when she's handing the prince over and the guy's gonna like kill her, and she set him up because she had kidnapped this other guy and put him into the place.
Yeah.
And then the guy uses his phone, and I thought that was brilliant. And then the cops are coming in. She just goes, screams, acts all innocent, walks out of the building, and. But I agree. I would have liked some more scenes with her being Catwoman.
We didn't see that because I think Christopher Nolan
she goes to Roland Daggett as Catwoman, and she fights those guys on the roof.
I think,
and then
I'm just saying. I think Christopher Nolan thought he could put Catwoman in this movie, but not show her doing the cat blur ghouling thing. But really, I'm gonna say this right now. Does anyone here think that Catwoman fit in this movie?
I think she did.
Okay, I didn't think so. Moving on
then. Okay.
You want to talk about Alfred? He's always good. He's always a great character.
This was my big complaint.
They got rid of him.
Yeah.
When they needed him the most, I thought they got rid of him.
This is my... I know they couldn't have kept Alfred in here.
Why
with
not?
The story that they chose. Because you already are looking after Lucius Fox over at Wayne Manor, or not Wayne Manor, and Wayne Industries every now and then, and he's your big tech guy, so you need him in the story, and then you'll just have to develop. You just have to have more screen time to show Alfred. What's he going to be doing? There's nothing for him to do in this story. If you really think about it, I mean, Alfred can't be with Batman way overseas. He can't be in the city because it's just there was no place for him. But I still wish that I know why, but maybe this wasn't. It's just the entire story. There's been 3 constants, 3 characters. There's been Batman, who's been, of course, the main character, Commissioner Gordon, and Alfred.
Yes.
Those 3 have been the ones that have really carried the story forward for us. And to basically just a quarter way through the movie, just kick Alfred out of the movie like that, it was unsettling.
Weird.
It was weird. It was weird to just say, bye Michael Caine, see you at the climax. I mean,
you know what I got?
And then there's the thing that I really want to talk about is the 2 big secrets that were hidden in The Dark Knight that were lied about. There's the one with the Harvey Dent conspiracy. Yeah. And the other one is Alfred hiding that Rachel had moved on and was going to marry Harvey Dent. I felt that it was just like... You know what? It was just Alfred tells Bruce in the first 15 minutes. I don't think that was a good place for it. I mean, I know for the story they were choosing that it was the best time, I guess, that they could fit it there. But if you take, Spider-Man 2, when Peter tells Aunt May that he was responsible for Uncle Ben's death.
By the way, Spider-Man 2 to me isn't the best Spider-Man movie, so I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, you like Amazing Spider-Man 1?
Yes, I do. Anyways, going... Yes, I thought it tied in rather well because Aunt May had this incredible journey, and you know what? The whole from the first movie on, she's building up the independence, right? Well, and then she finds out. It's like, holy crap!
Yeah, and then that scene wouldn't have been as impactful if it happened the first 15 minutes.
I hear what you're saying. I thought
I think that was the same for this. It just doesn't It doesn't feel like it hit his home as well.
To bring you back, you need to first get used to the characters again. I gotta say that this rushed right through the characters. Before we have have a bonding moment with Bruce and Alfred were thrown in with Bruce and Selena Kyle. Like, it didn't really fit. Like, he's just there, he just happens to show up, and he has a long, Fu Manchu and a cane. Like, it just didn't quite fit. Like, what was Bruce's entrance? Why is Bruce's entrance so ungrand?
Well, he fired an arrow at her.
I didn't like the 8 years. I didn't think it fit any.
You don't think
anyways.
it was necessary?
No, I liked that in the first one. I went right into the second one. This is a trilogy, man. If you think about this being a movie on itself, then make it a movie on itself. You don't do that. Like, I understand that they had to have, the reason for Batman quitting. Like, yes, he hurt his leg, and that's great. Why didn't you have him, like, try at first, show that character arc, instead of just having 8 years gone by, here we are, we're picking up again, we're still doing the Harvey Dent thing, and we're trying to make it sell.
Well, well, if you take the I don't think it lines too well as a sequel, but then again, if you look at The Dark Knight, it didn't really line up too well as a sequel to Batman Begins either. I mean, most people don't even, not most people, but if you aren't a comic fan, a lot of people didn't even know there was a Batman Begins before The Dark Knight. Yeah. And if you didn't know there was a Batman Begins before The Dark Knight, and you watch this, you're going to be lost. Because in comes, this whole thing, it's the League of Shadows, and Ra's al Ghul, and
okay, well, what do you want to talk about right now?
Okay, just the thing that we're going to be talking about next is big spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, well, I recommend it. I don't think Chris does. But this we're going to talk about the next thing, which was the big reveal. I'm not sure how big you were surprised.
You find out a story about the whole child and everything.
Which you think is Bane's origin.
Yeah, as soon as we saw Liam on the screen and he turned his shoulder and you saw that, okay, this was the guy that had the child and the mother and daughter were put into this hole, I was like, or not daughter, mother and child, right? We don't know who it is. Then I'm thinking, okay, how are they going to sell this? And they say that child was Bane. And I'm like, no, it's not. I was like, no, it's not. It's Talia. I watched the animated series. I know this. I can see it a mile away.
Well,
you're wrong. And I was like, okay, what else are you going to throw at me? And they bring the whole thing, and I'm just like, well, who's it going to be?
Miranda Tate.
I was just like, I was waiting for it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's Miranda Tate. Because I was thinking, this doesn't quite work, but I didn't have time to think because the movie was going, and it was going so quickly, I didn't think, and then I was like, oh, yes, it is. It's definitely her. But I was thinking, why would she be in Gotham so long, and why would they be trying to make it so that she was, I couldn't believe it.
Okay, basically, since some people might be lost, there's this girl in this story that is trying to get Wayne Industries back on top, and there's this device that would give free energy to everyone, but it also could be used as a bomb. Why is it that these world-saving devices always turn out to also be used as a bomb? This is Spider-Man 2.
When I first saw this, I was thinking, oh, this is the same thing from Batman Begins, that it can actually make air come in, and then they're like, no, it's not, it's a...
Basically, it's a bomb.
Yeah.
Well... And so they take the bomb. Look, I knew as soon as Bruce was kissing her, early on, and I knew right then that she was going to be a bad guy. I knew right then because we got Catwoman in here already, and she's going to be Bruce's love interest.
Yeah.
You got this girl. The only reason you have a different girl that's not the love interest in your movie, is if she's going to be a bad guy that's going to stab you in the back.
To see the rest of our Batman movie bash video, go to part 3.